Coupons ready.
Okay, we're here with Catherine Hart, who is a CrossFit Central CrossFitter. Catherine, how long have you been CrossFitting?
I've been CrossFitting since February of 2008, so about a year and a half.
Okay, and how do you feel your success with CrossFit has gone so far?
Huge success. Totally new person. Lost 30 pounds, lost tons of body fat. I don't even know how much at this point. A whole new level of energy, a whole new level of eating well. I mean, and then it ripples into my family and my friends, and just a whole new person.
Awesome. So, okay.
Yeah.
And on top of being a CrossFitter, I understand you're also an artist.
Yes.
So we got to visit with Lululemon last week about some of the prizes that they're actually going to help out with on the Women's Only Challenge. And I heard that you're contributing also. What exactly are you contributing? Do you know?
Well, I have the privilege of contributing. I work with glass, and I make glass necklaces, glass jewelry. And I'm making 3 glass necklaces for the first, second, and third place winners of the Women's Challenge.
Awesome. Okay. And so on these glass pieces, do you happen to have any that we could possibly peek at?
I certainly do.
All right.
Let's see. I don't know if it's going to be easy to... Let's see. Can you get a good shot of these? These are all 100% glass. The process is pretty much working with cut glass and glass paints. So all the drawings that you see and the markings, those are all glass as well. And I fuse them together in a kiln, and I put them on chain, and that's the process.
Awesome. Okay. And would you actually mind showing us around your workshop?
Not at all. This is primarily where I work with glass, and I also do a lot of drawing out here. It gets a little hot in the summer, so I do a lot of drawing just in my room and on the kitchen table. I kind of do that wherever I am. But this is where bigger projects come together. This is where I have a big wall here where I can hang up sort of inspiration or new color schemes I'm working with. It's a good place for me to step back and see what I'm working on, what kind of colors I'm drawn to. And sometimes I just come in here with no plan, and I just sort of wander around until things start to come together, and I start to either draw or pick up shards of glass and rearrange them in different orders. But basically this is my big workbench. This is where I cut the glass, put the glass together, and paint on the glass and draw. And this is just powdered glass mixed with a little bit of oil, and oil burns out in the kiln, and so that's why the final piece is purely 100% glass. And these are already pre-mixed with the oils, and I also have the powdered versions of color as well, so I can add my own oil and either get a very thick layer or a very thin layer depending upon what I want, so I can control that a little more. And I start with big pieces of glass, usually about this size. This is clear, I don't know if you can see it. And I start cutting them into different shapes, and I start painting on little pieces. My husband's a printmaker, and so I steal all of his etching tools and use them to carve into the paint once it's dry to get a really fine line in there. And I try and recycle the glass as much as possible, and I always have little shards all around, and I save them. And you'll see, if you look up close to some of the jewelry, just teeny little pieces or squares of color, and I get those a lot of times from here. And that's sort of my favorite part, is when I can lay out all the pieces and I just start arranging and just start seeing what works together, and that's really, really the fun part. And so I can make a sheet of glass.
Okay, so Catherine, in looking at some of the amazing pieces that you have in your workshop, tell me, how long have you been an artist?
For as long as I can remember. I've always been a maker. I've always made things since I was little, made my own toys, made my own worlds. And I was lucky enough to go to an art camp when I was 12 years old, and I was introduced to a variety of mediums to work with, and that's where I first blew glass. That's where I worked with clay, photography, printing, and it really opened my world up to the possibilities of what you could do when you're a creative person. And I started, I made sure I went back every summer until I was too old, and then I continued to take art classes in high school, both in school and after school. I grew up in New Jersey, right outside New York City, and so I would go into New York City in the summers and work in a glass studio. And I just kept it up until I eventually went to art school. I went to California College of the Arts when I started, it was California College of the Arts and Crafts, and they have since dropped and crafts because they want people to know they're a very legitimate art school. Although I have no problem with crafts, because to me it means technically making something well, which I really appreciate. And now I'm married to an artist, and he teaches art as well. And we are both living here trying to do our art, and I have my very first solo show of my drawings, which is also another big part of my life, at Austin Art Garage on September 10th from 6 to 9 p.m. And it's a whole gallery filled of drawings all the way from tiny little 3-inch by 3-inch ones to much bigger framed pieces. And I'm very, very excited.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.